This is Mrs. Wachowskis in the library. It is June 8th, 2015, and this video is on how to use the Makerbot platform to prepare your item for print. The Makerbot platform is not installed on every computer at the school. It's installed on just a few, the ones that we run the printer off of. One desktop computer in the library, which is usually where you'll see the printer set up, and the big Aquos board in the library. You may find it set up a couple different places in school, but that's pretty much primarily where we print from, or where we have the kids print from. So let me just show you what you're going to do. Come here, File, Add, and this is where you'll pull in or import an item. You'd go out and browse for it like you would be when you attach or import a file into any other type of program. We're going to use one of the examples. So I want to just take a look at this. If I've got this highlighted, and if I want to look at it from different perspectives, I can just scroll around like this. If I wanted to take this item and move it down the platform, and you have to do that sometimes, when you design weird things that have weird orientations, you oftentimes have to move them around so that it will print in an ideal manner. And you'll understand that a little bit more after you start printing. But I need to highlight those, and I have to get both items, I'd have to hit Shift and click on them both. This option allows me to move the objects in the different dimensions on a Cartesian coordinate plane. So this is moving it up. Okay, I'm going to get off this real quick. This might look to you that it's on the platform, just back near the end of the platform, but if you come back here and change the perspective, you see it's up in the air, and can't be printing up in the air. So I would go back here, and I'd put it back on the platform. Okay. This will allow me to change the rotation of it, like this, along the x-axis, along the y-axis, along the z-axis. This right here allows me to change the scaling of it. So I can make this smaller or bigger. I could change, this is uniform scaling. As long as it's checked, means all the dimensions will be kept in the same proportion, it'll just make it larger. But let's say I wanted to make it just taller. So I'm going to make this smaller again. And let's say I just wanted to make it taller. I can just do it along the z-axis. Whoopsie. Unclick uniform scaling, and then it just becomes taller. Okay, you could do the same thing with the y and the x-axis. So that's how you would change your file, but you can't edit it and add things to the file in the Makerbot platform. This is really just to send the file to the printer. So I'm going to X out of this. When you are done, click Settings. We usually print off the right extruder. We'll talk a little bit more about that. Most of our filaments, we extrude at 215, and I'll show you in a few minutes how you find out what temperature. We heat the build plate. We change the speed to make it around 70, which is the speed while extruding, and 120. You hit Save Settings, click Print. I want to show you one more thing before this video is over. This is going to tell you here how long the print time is, how much filament you're going to use, and that's what you'll have to write down, and that's what we charge you. The filament is approximately 3 cents per gram, and this is at 14 grams. So you would say 14 times 3 cents, which is 42 cents. That's how much will be charged to your fax account. There are a couple, I'm going to cancel this right now, because I want to show you a couple other settings. Here is a raft. Sometimes if it's, let me show you something that is, let me delete these. Okay, here's something that doesn't have a solid bottom. So if you were going to print that, you would want to print it with a raft. It makes a solid bottom for it, and then you tear it off. And also, if it's not a solid item, and you'd have to print in the, somehow figure out how to print, let me see if I can get this in a different direction so you could see, well, you can't print mid-air, so you actually have to turn on supports, and you'll see those printed out sometimes and on the right extruder. So you would have to set up based on the item, and at this point you won't know that, so you would have to just come and talk to me about it, and I'll be happy to help you. But you would send these files to me, and I'll show you how to do that in another video. But you just click here to print, and those are the different settings that you could look at, and click here to print, and it sends it to the printer, and it's hooked to the printer. And it would take, in that case, like you saw just a minute ago, it's going to take about, this one's going to take about 12 minutes, but the other one that we just looked at was like a little bit over an hour. And sometimes it's right on the time, sometimes it's not. It's just an about time. If you have any questions, come see me in the library. I'm happy to help.